John Wick Chapter 2 stars Keanu Reeves, Common, and Ian McShane, and is a sequel to the first John Wick, which I actually reviewed on this channel all the way back in 2014. And I thought that movie was awesome. It was just so visceral, it was so well directed, there were so many headshots, it was gory, it was violent, it was satisfying, it was all the things you love in a great action movie. There was a pretty decent connective plot between all of it, and John Wick was actually pretty well acted by Keanu Reeves. Yes, Keanu Reeves, not the best actor, but this is the perfect kind of role for him. And I am happy to report that John Wick Chapter 2 is just as good as the first one. In fact, I think this might be even better than the first one, because I think that the first John Wick had a serious problem with that the ending was not super satisfying. I left the theater and I felt that was a great experience, but I wasn't really left wanting more the way that you want. And this film, I think, very much benefits from being the middle film, because it can just kick ass and can prepare you for what will happen, because there will be a John Wick Chapter 3, and I am pumped for it. Just like a good action sequel should, this movie takes everything to the next level. The event that gets John Wick back into it, the action John Wick has to get into, the amount of people he has to kill, how he kills them. There are so many creative kills and headshots in this movie. It makes my head spin. And it's really bad. When something really violent happens that I enjoy, I laugh. It makes me seem like a terrible person. I was laughing my ass off during this movie. This was just so hilariously violent, and I loved it. I had a blast. Just like the first movie, the connective tissue in this movie is actually very solid, very cool. They create an immersive universe that you can actually feel like exists. This underground kind of community of hitmen, and I think it's very just creative. It's a very cool place this movie puts you into, and I think that the inner workings, they have logic to them. They make sense. It's not this just nonsensical thing that's only there to be badass. It's something they've created that feels real, has common sense to it, and is also just incredibly cool. Keanu Reeves is actually, once again, very good in this movie. I think that he plays this character very subtly, which some might mistake for just Keanu Reeves being a cardboard actor like he usually is. But I think that there's more going on under the surface here. I think that John Wick actually has a bit of a psychological tick to him that Keanu Reeves plays really well. I think that he's able to embody this through action. And obviously that is helped by the scripts, it's helped by the directors, but Keanu has to be the vessel for which all of this flows, and I think that he does a very admirable job in this movie. He's really good in this. My cap, though, has to go off to the director of this film. I can't working with stunts forever in Hollywood, going back to the 80s, and it's really cool to see he's able to bring this project to life, something that he actually really cares about, and the way he directs this film is so precise, and it's so just raw, and it's visceral, and nothing feels like they're hiding anything. There's no cuts that are like, oh, don't see that because it's obviously fake. Everything looks organic. It looks totally real. Like, I don't understand how they did some of these effects, some of these long shots. There's a great shot where he's running through some tunnels and he's just headshotting people with all sorts of weapons, and I don't know how they did it, because it's just this long, beautiful shot. Because even though this is an incredibly violent sequence, there's an artistry to the way that it's filmed. This guy really understands how to stage an action scene, how to frame an action scene, how to have the geography of an action scene make sense, which is one of the biggest problems in Hollywood right now. People do not know how to put things that actually make logical sense. You don't even think about it, but when the geography of an action scene is not right, your subconscious will know it. It'll know that something's out of place, and it's problems that movies like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies have had forever. Nothing makes sense. You never know where anything is. And this movie is perfect about that. You always know where John Wick is in relation to other people, where John Wick is going, where he's leaving, where he's going to shoot next, where the bullets are going. It all just makes so much logical sense. And it sounds like something that's elementary, but it gets wrong so many times. And I think that this guy really should get credit for that, because it's not easy to do. It's something that very few directors do effectively, and he deserves so much credit for it. Honestly, I don't really have any negatives for this film. I think that for what John Wick Chapter 2 is trying to be, it is a perfect film. It doesn't have any depth to it. This is just a straightforward, kick-ass action movie with an awesome, awesome sense of viscera. And I think that this is going to be probably the best action movie of the year, and I'm going to give it an A. Thank you all for watching this review. What did you all think of John Wick Chapter 2? Comment below, like it, and you can subscribe to my channel for more awesome movie reviews. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.